I still hear dings, so I'll wait.
Hey, Patterson in the house today. Holy cow.
Okay, let's get started and just letting everybody know that I'm recording for the purposes of the folks that can't make it tonight. As always, can I get a thumbs up that I can be heard? Thumbs up. And can I get a thumbs up? Well, there's a whole bunch of those emoji ones. Can I get a thumbs up? Everybody can see the deck, the welcoming deck. Yes, thumbs up. Excellent, excellent. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm going to get rid of the dialog box here. And welcome to the Black and Blue Umpire Association monthly call for October the 20th, 2025. I cannot believe that this year is absolutely flying by, and we are in the stretch run. Basically, a couple more months of baseball, or maybe a month and a half. Then we take a little break for December, most of December, and a good little bit of January so we can recharge those batteries. I might be able to have some semblance of life and don't have to get, a call at 5:30 in the morning saying I can't make a baseball game. That sounds kind of fun for a month or two. I got to be honest with you. But anyways, I transgress. We'll get started tonight. I'll rip through my points. Try to elaborate as best as I possibly can. If you've got a question, please by all means raise your hand or throw it in the chat. We'll answer it at the end of the call, and then we'll open it up for general discussion for any of you that would like to chat about some things. We don't have any plays tonight to go over. That is definitely something that we're going to look at changing that in 2026 and really try to capture plays that we're experiencing each weekend in Northern and Southern California, dissect those a little bit and try to learn some things from them. And then also, hopefully, we'll capture some plays where we're kind of showing our umpires really doing some great stuff and working really hard, getting into really good positioning, and the outcomes are really good. So we'll look forward to those two. So Scotty, if you'd advance me, please, let's get started. One more. Okay. Let me get started with the big thank you to everybody over the last couple of weekends. Some of you may know that I've kind of been kind of a focal point the last two weekends as far as handling any of the kind of the Saturday, Sunday issues, challenges, questions, all of those type of things. And I got to tell you, that the communication's been awesome and everybody, getting back to me and responding. That has been tremendous. And I want to thank everybody for that. It goes a long way in, how we're able to expedite things and we're able to pivot and get things done, and that's really, really good. So I just want to take the time because normally you guys don't deal with me on a weekend to weekend basis and that's more of a Harrison thing. And so I really appreciate that. And as some of you may know, and some of you that have known me for a long time, communication is a very, very big deal to me, right? I'm almost 56 years old. When I came out of my mama's womb, I did not have one of these. This was not part of my existence. So, what was part of my existence was actually having a mouth and two ears, and I was able to listen and able to speak all at the same time. And I find that to be very, very rewarding. But I get it. This is the way that we communicate now, and that's okay. And I'm okay with that as long as people are responding and responding in a polite way and responding in a timely way. I love it. I think it's great. So, for those of you that have dealt with me over the last two weekends, thank you because I thought your communication was spot on and outstanding. Your willingness to help out, your willingness to pivot, your williness to,
Obviously, can
you
you
know,
take this away?
educate
Carl
us.
Silva, keep unmuting yourself. I keep muting you.
There we go. We got him. Um, what it's been really, really great. So I appreciate that very, very much.
No,
Um,
that's you.
Next
Oh,
point.
you unmuted
They're
yourself.
okay.
Sure.
I'll get them. The next point I want to
They
talk
muted
about
you.
is Harrison is going to take a little bit of a hiatus. We're going to give Harrison a little bit of a break for the
Oh, we have
remainder of
weekend.
2025.
You
Harrison
just
has been
unmuted again.
working
Hit it.
big time, hard, and he needs a little family time. And I can understand that. He's been grinding pretty hard over the last several weeks. And, when we get tournaments that have 110 plus teams, it's super, super challenging. And there's a lot of moving parts. And sometimes we don't make his job that easy. Sometimes we make it a little challenging with some of the things that we add onto his plate. So I've recognized that. I've kind of felt it and heard it in his voice, and his body is telling him that he needs a little bit of a break and a little bit of a breather. So we're going to do that. We're going to give him a little time out. We're going to put him in timeout. He's not in trouble, but it's just time for him to take a little break and get back to some me time, get back to enjoying his son and his wife, and get back to enjoying his weekends because we need that sometimes. We need to relax and just enjoy our time. So moving forward, Northern California, that scheduling will come from me, okay? And any communication that needs to transpire, that needs to go right to me. Let's let Harrison have his privacy and some downtime, and that all needs to come to me. So if that needs to come via text, fine, I'm okay with that. If that needs to be something that needs to be relayed in an email, fine, let's do that. But let's make sure that we're doing that in the right way and the polite way and respectable for everybody's time. Um, this is not a full-time thing for me, even though it becomes kind of a full-time thing because we go 47 plus weekends out of the year. So there's not a whole lot of break, and we're constantly working and doing things all the time. And I'm trying to join Zoom. Yeah, well, keep trying. Hopefully it goes through. For any of you that know Troy Adams, maybe give him a little hand in getting into the Zoom. He's having a little challenge. Um, but anyways, that communication's important, and if we could make sure that we're communicating as best as possible, I appreciate it. Whether it's good stuff or disappointing news, whatever, the ability to have communication is important. We do not have the luxury of just not communicating. I had a guy 2 weekends ago that took a whole Saturday, worked, no problems, everything was good. Didn't show up Sunday, didn't even bother. Tried to get him on the phone, didn't answer his phone. Text him. He finally responds to text and just says, I just can't do it. I'm tired. And that was about it. And I said, you couldn't pick up the phone and just tell me that? I mean, I know that that's disappointing news and I'll probably be a little upset by it. But the fact that you couldn't even have the adultness to just tell another person, like, hey, I can't make it. Tired and I can't make it. I can't do it. Um, I found that to be unacceptable. So, anyways, communication's important. Everything runs through me for the next 2.5 months. And all that communication needs to be fed my way. Let's leave Harrison out of it. Let's let him enjoy his time and his time away from BBUA for the next 2 months. And let's let him get recharged and ready to go for 2026. Okay, next topic, NCTB. NCTB is somewhat dark this weekend. We have a small little event. I put dark, but it's not really dark. We have a small event, but not at Creeks. Creeks is dark. I should have really said Creeks is dark. I think we have a small event that's at St. Francis and another school in the Bay Area. And also we have Five Tool in Northern California at Chabot, San Mateo, and Mills High School. And I think there's two other high schools that are on the docket there. Only 16 teams. I want to say that there's a total of something around 22, 23 total teams playing this weekend. And, we're going to need 20 some plus guys. So please, if anybody is available to work this weekend, I encourage you to go in and make yourself available. Pick both days, great. Pick one day, either or, great. And then put the notes in the assigner portion in that assigner field. So first two on Saturday, last three on Sunday, or a partner request, or whatever those things are to help me navigate and make those assignments. I've done assignments before. It's been a while. I probably won't be smooth. I'm going to be honest with you because, I got 10,000 other things going on. But you know what? I'll get it done. Will it be to your liking maybe the first couple times? Probably not. That's just the way it goes. I mean, I'm going to do my best, but I guarantee you I'm going to probably miss something. So if I do, bring it to my attention in a nice, polite, professional way. And, I'll do my best to try to make the correction. So very light this weekend, which is a good thing. Gives us all a chance to kind of take a deep breath. For those that you want to work, let's by all means go out and work. For those of you who need a weekend off, this is your opportunity because starting November and the beginning of November, we're very, very, very heavy for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Like it's no joke. We've got one more 5 tool event next the weekend the weekend of Halloween, which is next weekend. Halloween's on Friday the 31st, and then the 1st and the 2nd we have our last 5 tool event along with another full weekend of NCTB. So we've got over 100 teams participating on the first. So that's my ask from everybody right now. Please, if you can work over the next 3 weeks, by all means, let's sign up. Because here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of our last opportunity, and it's my point that's down at the bottom, but I'll make it right now. This is our last opportunity to make that extra Christmas money. This is our last opportunity to make really significant extra money that might get us through the holidays until we get back really cranking the latter part of January. So we're kind of quiet for a good 6, 7 weekends. And so this is your opportunity. So the biggest weekend coming up here, not this weekend, but the weekend after, we've got NCTB at Creeks, at St. Francis, at some local high schools, and then we got 5 tool at various community colleges and high schools. That'll be a very, very heavy weekend with over 100 plus teams as I see it right now. And we'll need all hands on deck. We'll need everybody out there willing and able to participate. The other thing that I think will help us in our numbers, most of the high school stuff will be done. I know for a fact that my son's high school is done that weekend. They're finished. I know most public high schools are already done. I know for a fact that most of the collegiate fall programs will be wrapping up either this week or next week. There is some that linger into November. I do know that, so I'm fully aware of that. But then they'll be all done. So for November, I feel that we should have a large participation from our umpiring group, and that we should be able to facilitate and really have a good number of folks that are available for the next 3 weekends. So after November 1st and 2nd, we have another busy weekend, 15th and 16th, and the 22nd and the 23rd, and the last weekend, the 29th and 30th. So 3 weeks in a row, we got 80 plus teams participating in travel baseball. Everybody's got to get in their licks before the holidays. So please go into the BBUA website. Go in, and all the tournaments are listed. Everything is listed from now until the end of the year. Go in there and you can pick which tournament that you want to work and which days that you want to work and all the specifics around the asks of those assignments. So I highly encourage everybody, after you get off the call tonight, just make it part of what you need to do as a favor to me, as the rookie assigner for the next 2 months. Please go in and share your availability, and let's book those dates. Look at your calendars, look at your events that are coming up, look at the birthday parties, the bar mitzvahs, the pop-up weddings that you didn't know about, right? Like that's a thing, becomes a thing. Look at all those events that you may have that are coming up in November and plan accordingly, please. By all means, that's very, very important. So heavy weekends coming up for the next, or specifically in November for three straight weekends. Again, calendars and availability as quickly as possible. And again, this is your opportunity to make that extra holiday baseball cash that you need. Because if you're like me, you got a wife that spends too much gosh darn money, and you need some in reserves or for yourself. Don't tell them that you're making it. Say you're doing it for free. I'll lie to them. It's not a problem. They can call me and I'll tell them that you're doing it for free. You're giving back. It's all good. Okay.
Billy,
Um,
real quick, Billy.
yeah.
That's for the NorCal guys specifically. The SoCal guys are a different format.
Yes, my apologies. This is for Northern California only on the calendars and the availability. But now, being that we're talking about this, I will tell everybody that we are looking into an assigning platform that I'm very excited about. It's not cheap, pretty expensive, but it's one-stop shop. It's got everything in a platform that you could need. It's got the ability to assign. It's got the ability for the umpires to put in their availabilities and in real time. It's got the abilities for us to look at all the assignments, for you guys to look at your assignments in a web-based platform, not on a spreadsheet. Okay. It's got the abilities for us to make adjustments on the fly. It's got the ability for us to send out mass emails and mass text messages, which I know a handful of you guys are super, super excited about getting mass emails and mass texts. I think those are fun, right? For you guys that hate those. It's got the ability to really, really stay very, very transparent and in the know or in the now of everything that goes on with BBUA. This is a platform that only, at the moment, only collegiate baseball coordinators are able to access. And I actually use this platform for all my collegiate assigning. I think it's the best assigning platform in all of officiating, and we would be one of two organizations in the country, one of two travel ball coordinator assigner organizations, not high school, not little league, travel baseball, one of two. So we're kind of piloting this endeavor, and I'm excited that we're getting closer on the negotiations and working out the numbers and all that. We will definitely walk you guys through this if we decide to sign up. We will take the month of December and January to get everybody versed. The company has promised me that they would hold webinars for us so they can walk everybody through the ins and outs, the X's and O's of the platform and get you guys completely onboarded. So then we're rocking and rolling and ready to go as soon as tournament season starts to get back into session. So more to come on that. But Scotty's right. Southern California, you guys do things a little bit different versus Northern California, and that's something that I want to change. I want to be able to have everything on one platform and all of us be able to kind of see things and have all that complete you know availability and the ability for all of us to see different things. There is educational aspects on there. We can put plays and clips on there that we can review with each of you after every weekend, which I find exciting. We can put articles up there. We can put tutorials up there. It's our platform to build. As many of you know, I currently am the director of umpire training for the NCAA. We have a central hub, if you will, that we utilize with this platform, and I'm part of one of the few people that feed this beast. And it's got so much educational material in there. It's a one-stop shop for baseball umpires at the collegiate level. And what I'm trying to do right now is make it a one-stop shop for everybody at the comp baseball, travel baseball space. Okay. This travel baseball, comp baseball outweighs collegiate baseball by a landslide. It's way bigger, way bigger. And so having the ability to potentially team up with this platform and this technology and this company, I'm very excited about, and I think will actually transform BBUA and take us to a whole other level, one where more assigners will want to come under our umbrella. More assigners will want to be able to do their payroll and to conduct their finance business under our platform. They'll be able to take advantage of all of the technology. They'll be able to take advantage of all of the videos. They'll be able to take advantage of all of the educational aspects that are out there. And I'm working really hard right now to bring on somebody as a dedicated trainer for BBUA, a singular individual that really what their functionality, main functionality is to do is to help train all of you through videos, through technology, through personal visits in Northern California and in Southern California. This individual is a collegiate baseball umpire that umpires primarily on the West Coast and primarily in California. So the goal would be when that individual starts to um, do their games in starting in February, and they happen to be, in the Bay Area where there's 5 or 6 Division I baseball teams at play, or happen to be in Southern California where there's a handful of teams as well. That individual can go out and watch an early game on Saturday, or an early game on Sunday, or even a late game on Saturday if they had a day game, and be able to, shoot some video, have some one-on-one conversation with some of our umpires, and just spread the knowledge, and give some feedback about, how things are and where you guys are at and where you stand. I think that that is very, very critical. The big black eye, if you will, and the big negative on the comp baseball space and travel baseball umpires has been the lack of education, the lack of mentoring, the lack of teaching, and we're just putting bodies out there to fill games because there's all these darn games that everybody's got to play. Well, okay, they got to play them. I get it. And we need bodies. You're right. But those bodies need to be trained. Those bodies need to be mentored, and those bodies need to be given the tools that are going to make them successful. So we give them the encouragement to stay with this and to want to do this and to be excited to do this, and then have the knowledge to be able to answer, the coach that's being a little bit of a jackhole when he's not getting his way. Right? That's what we want. We want you guys to be ready, seasoned, versed, articulate, rule book terminology, the whole shebang. So we're really working hard on bringing somebody aboard as a trainer for BBUA, a dedicated trainer for BBUA that will get on our calls once a month, and that will also post things on our hopefully soon to be platform as well, which I think will be great. And I think a lot of you guys and gals, hey, if we put up a posting, a mass email. Hey, there's a new clip or a new play on the central hub for BBUA. I can guarantee everybody's going to go watch that. You want to know why? Because one, you're curious to see who it is. It may be you, and you're going, "Ooh, I hope I did good." Or if I didn't, you're like, "Well, I hope it's not me," right? Or you're just curious in general, like, "Hey, what did somebody else have, and how did they handle it, and what could we have done better?" I'm telling you right now, that'll be a game changer for us. It will take us to a whole other level. It's going to make you guys better. It's going to make all of us look better, and we're going to shine and we're going to elevate. And I think it's going to bring on more business, more opportunities for everybody that's associated with our program. So I kind of went off on a tangent off that thing. I should have stayed on point, but I thought it was important that I talk about that. All right. Uh, Couple things that are really near and dear to me as I take on, this responsibility for Harrison. So pause a minute while I take a drink here. For you Mariner fans, I do apologize. You guys just lost, so I'm sorry if you guys are in mourning. Get over it. You got next year. It's okay. Um, Please begin to get in a cadence of checking your emails on Fridays and Saturday nights. There can be some scheduling changes. I know that Harrison's done a great job of putting the email back out and adjusting the schedule. And then I also know that he comes up with some text messages as well. And that's all great. It's not the best system. I don't like it, to be honest with you. I like technology. That's one of the reasons why I'm looking to sign up with a really expensive assigning platform, because I'd like to make a change and then I'd like to immediately push a button that sends you a text message. That's what I'd like. And I think we're going to get there. But please make it a habit that you start to look at your emails on Friday and Saturday nights if you're working, and even if you're not, because you just good habit, right? Everybody gets up in the morning, hopefully around the same time. Most of you probably have coffee in the morning, right? Some of you walk a dog, right? A lot of you get out of the house and go to work, right? Am I getting some nods here? Everybody's agreeing. Why do you do that? Because that's part of your routine, right? That's part of what you do every day. That's part of your functionality as a human being. Same thing with checking your emails on Friday and Saturday night. So if we could start to do that, I would really appreciate it. My next point, check your cell phones, okay? As you wake up Saturday and Sunday mornings. I know some of you guys sleep in a really long time because it's like radio silence there for a while. It's crazy. I get up super early, almost too early, but there's things to be done. If you would, there's pivots, sometimes there's adjustments, sometimes there's things that I need to get out there. And to be able to shoot a quick text message is really, really important. Sometimes I'll call you if it's really, really important. I need to get a hold of you like right now. That's really important. So please check your cell phones as you wake up on Saturday and Sunday mornings, primarily for those that are working. But if you want to get in a habit of that, hey, most of you get on the phone anyway. That's like the first thing we freaking grab by the side of our bed. I don't understand it. I grab mine because I'm in the food service business and it's 24/7 and I got stuff going on 7 days of the week. So that's why I grab mine. Most of you, maybe, hopefully you don't do that, but that's one of the first things that we grab. So if we grab it, let's look at it and make sure Billy Hayes isn't trying to get a hold of us. And if Billy Hayes isn't trying to get a hold of you, put the damn thing down for the rest of the day. It's no problem. I have no problem. But if I'm trying to get a hold of you, by all means, please answer if you wouldn't mind. Make sure that if you what did I put here? Please make sure if I text you on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I'm wishing for a response. So there's been a little bit of miscommunication on some things. So sometimes we put out mass emails about, hey, we need some help in Northern California. We need some help in Southern California. And please only respond if you're available. Because then sometimes we get these things, hey, man, I really wish I could, but hey, I've got a bar mitzvah to go to, or I've got a wedding to go to, or the dog's getting a procedure done. I don't need to hear that stuff. That's okay. You guys can keep that to yourselves. It's totally fine. And I don't need responses for all those things in emails. But if I text you on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and if I text you any day of the week for that matter, I'd love a response. But specifically on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I'm looking for a response. It's either yes, I can do that, or I'm really sorry that I can't. And 9 times out of 10, guess what I say? Hey, thanks. I appreciate that very much. No problem. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I don't jam you up and go, God dang it, you owe me a favor. What the hell's wrong with you? Blah, blah. No, I'm asking you for a favor. You're the one that's doing me a favor. So if I'm impolite about that ask, I got some real problems and I'm an a-hole and I probably should get my ego in check. So normally it's no problem. Great. Thanks for letting me know. No problem. So please, let's get in that habit too. Um, Please be as flexible as you possibly can on the weekends that we're working. I know this past weekend I asked a boatload of guys to pivot and either go do a solo, or hey, I got you working at 8 o'clock. You got a break at 10. I need you to work at 10 and then do your 12. Or hey, I got you at one field. I need you to go to another one. It's gonna happen. There's just no way of getting around it. And for those of you that did it over the last 2 weekends, I appreciate it. And for those of you, for that matter, that have done it all year, thank you. Really, I mean that. Thank you, because that helps us expedite the tournament. That helps us get through that weekend. That helps us stay in the good gracious of the tournament directors and all of the people that we're having to answer to that are basically paying us to do this, right? So it's appreciated, very much appreciated. And the pivots and the moves and the I got yous and no problems, keep those coming because man, that is I like sit here and I'm trembling and I'm waiting for an answer. And when I get, I got you, Billy, no problem. That's like the it's like the best thing ever. So I appreciate that. That flexibility and that willingness to pivot is really, really, really awesome. Okay. Next point. All right. It is super, super, super important that we get every single game started on time. And I know that, game two, game three, game four, game five, game six, and gee, many Christmas. Sometimes we got game seven of the day. Absurd. I get it. I understand that, but that's just how the tournament people want to do their business. But when we can't handle when games get delayed, we got extra innings, we got ties, we got all those things. I get it. Stuff happens. We go over time limit a little bit. I understand. But game number one, ladies and gentlemen, that has to start on time. That really has to start on time. And what do we mean by on time? Billy, what do you mean by on time? Does that mean we yell out at, okay, we've got 8 o'clock start on Saturday. So we yell out, we're on the clock and it's 9. Okay, acceptable, I guess. But here's what I'd really like. This is what I would really like. I would really like us to be conducting our plate meeting sometime in between 7:50 and 7:55. Okay? Now, I get it. You're not technically getting paid for that activity, but it goes a long way. And the fact is, if we could have first pitch coinciding with the clock striking 8 a.m., if that's our game time start, I think that's huge. And it just sets the tone for the rest of the day. It's huge. And then we give those players and those coaches all of that time limit to exhaust their abilities to play that game in that short time period. Here's what else it does. Hopefully, if we're on time, we're done in that buck 50 or maybe sooner. And guess what? We get ourselves a little bit of a breather and we get to start game two on time. So that's what I'm getting at here. Let's try to start these games as on time as we possibly can. So keep this in mind. We may be trucking along, getting game one on time. Everything is good. But that game might go a little bit longer. So our in between game one and game two, that little breather that we get might be a little bit shorter. Might be a little bit shorter. But guess what? As we keep going on through our day, between games 5 and 6, we get a run rule in game 5. That thing's over in 3 innings, 4 innings. And guess what we get? We get a little longer break. We get to sit on our can for a little bit longer. It works out. So in the end, it kind of all plays out. But my point is, and this is the biggest thing, that game number one, I really, 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 really encourage everybody to get that thing started on time. And if that's 8 o'clock, if that's 9 o'clock, and some cases it's 10, let's start that thing right on time. It's super, super important to get it started on time. Now, the question may be, and I'm seeing a lot of chatter and all that stuff, which is fine. The question may be, hey, Billy, well, we're there and the players and coaches aren't ready. Viable argument. But guess what? It's our job to summons those people like it's time to get ready. It's time. So we walk out, right? 7:50, 7:55, in between those two times. Hey, coaches, plate meeting, please. Let's get those lineup cards. Let's make introductions, please. Here we go. Boom. We're at the plate meeting. We're exchanging lineup cards. We're doing the introductions. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Here's the ground rules, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, legally and properly equipped. Great. Thank you very much. And we want to get started right at 8 o'clock. First pitch at 8 o'clock. So get your team, home team, get your team out there, get your warm-ups. I'm going to get everything started. So when it's 8, we are on the clock for an hour and 50 or whatever our time limit is. And bam, we're going to maximize our time. Can I get you in agreement? Yes, sir. Oh, thank you very much. Can I get you in agreement? Oh, very good. Thank you very much. Let's have a nice game. Bam, we're ready to go. Guess what else that does? That puts those people like, ooh, this guy's in charge. This person knows what they're doing. This person wants to get this game in and make sure everybody's maximizing their time, their efforts, and their abilities. I like it. I think this person might get more calls right than wrong. I like it. That 1,500 bucks that we just paid on Wednesday to get in this tournament, I feel like I'm getting bang for my buck. That's what we got to do. That's part of the sales part. That's part of what we need to do. Game one, please, everybody commit. Let's get that game started on time and ready to go at that game time, start time that's in the schedule. Okay. All right. We've had some complaints recently on filling out the cards. We've even had some umpires tell site reps and or coaches. Now, this might not apply to everybody, but it should apply to most of us. Most of us have to keep a game card, meaning pitch count and score, because that's what's turned in as the official documentation for that tournament. So this is a very important piece. The game cards aren't getting filled out right, and when coaches come to challenge a score, because sometimes it's based on score, and sometimes they challenge pitch counts because that's another strategy that's involved in comp baseball, and those things are inaccurate. Our tournament directors are then faced with this person that's challenging them at the 10. I don't want our tournament directors and tournament representation folks to be challenged with these type of things. And 9 times out of 10, you know what their response is? Game card. Sir, did you sign this? Yeah, it says Coach Dobbs. Yeah, I did. Why'd you sign it if it's not accurate? And then they go away. But the problem isn't solved. It's not solved by that. So please fill out your game cards. Base umpires are to be the gatekeepers of the pitch counts and the scoring. And it is best practice. And I know some people do this. I know Pete Cardinale is one of the best at this up at Creeks and over at Billy Hebert, because Pete used to umpire a lot of my son's baseball games. He was great at this. He would make his way over during in between innings. He'd go to the official scorekeeper, which is usually the home team score person, and he would go, "I got this amount of pitches, and I've got the score 4-3 in favor of the home team. Do you have that?" And the person would go, "Yep, I've got that. We're good. We just done a functionality of our job." And he was the best at it, really super good. And I appreciated that. And I know a lot of people do that type of good job. And I'm not able to recognize everybody, but Pete stands out most in my mind. So please, let's get back into the responsibility of filling out the game cards and making sure that we're jotting down the pitches and the pitch counts, and we're putting the players' names with numbers so then we can go back and reference, okay? And then let's make sure that we're turning those things in. It's really, really important that we turn those things in and they're accurate. I don't want tournament site reps chasing us down for those things. I don't want the site reps confronted without having the game cards because they're in our ball bag or our back pockets. I don't want our site reps to be confronted from obnoxious coaches on irregularities or challenging the viability of what the documentation says. It has to be right, has to be specific, has to be accurate, and it has to be turned in. Okay? Very good. What's next? Am I done? Holy cow.
You're
All right.
done.
I feel
Remember, guys and gals that are on this call, 99% of what he was talking about specifically attains to NCTB, not to SoCal or San Diego.
correct. Yep. So I'll touch on this and then I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues and then I can take a break for a little bit. But we have the new website, the BBUA umpires.com. That's kind of our platform for right now. Everything that has to do with BBUA and our tournaments and signing up for those in Northern California. A lot of great information on there. All the rules all the regulations, everything. It's a one-stop shop on there. Everything is good there. So please, by all means, go check that out. I want to say that there's another slide after this. Yeah, that's self-explanatory. I think that's from Harrison last weekend, and I don't know if we really need that. So advance it one more, Scotty. I'll be one more second here, but um, please, the real message I'm trying to get out tonight: communication, punctuality, continued professionalism, the willingness and ableness to pivot and be able to accept moving and transitioning into another field or another age group or another partner or any of those things. That is extremely important. So, and everybody's doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's doing a great job. And I think everybody is really starting to understand what this organization, what this leadership group, what it means to work for me, and how professional I want to treat this. Because I feel when people feel respected and appreciated as part of a group, an association, they tend to give a better effort. They tend to feel excited about going and doing something. And I want that for all of us here. I want us to feel excited about being part of this organization. I want us to feel excited about going out and umpiring baseball. I want us to be excited about having the opportunity to mentor not only players, but coaches. I will tell you that I hear from coaches time in and time out and tournament directors on how wonderful our umpires are, how professional our people act, how nice it is to see our umpires take the opportunity to walk up to a young man and a young lady and have a conversation with them about, hey, I don't think you know this, but that's illegal, and here's why, and here's what I need you to do to change that. It goes so far in the experience, not only for players, but for coaches. And guess who it's most importantly for? The people that are paying the checks. That's called mom and dad. If we don't have mom and dad, and if we don't have mom and dad signing up little Billy and little Johnny and little Stacy and little Susie to go out and do these tournaments, we don't have an opportunity to go officiate these tournaments. Simple. And when these tournaments are run poorly and they're not run well and they're not organized well by the tournament directors and the tournament organizers, and they're not facilitated with good officiating and a good officiating program, they go away. They go away. I just talked to a guy today in Las Vegas that used to run one of the largest umpire associations in Las Vegas, and it went away, and not through his fault and not through his efforts, but because the tournament organization was poorly ran. They were dysfunctional. They didn't get the games up and the matchups on time. They were kind of always wishy-washy with rules. They just didn't keep up with what should be. And somebody's got fireworks going off in my community right now. Odd. Huh. Must be a certain holiday I don't know about. Anyways, we run a great organization here at BBUA. I feel that Northern California Travel Baseball runs a great operation. I feel that Five Tool does an amazing job. Perfect Game does an amazing job. Best in the West does an amazing job, and the rest of our vendors that facilitate comp baseball tournaments in California, Northern and Southern California, do an amazing job. And that's the reason why we're afforded and blessed the opportunities that we have. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Scotty and let him say a few words. I think Pete might have something to say. Stu might have something to say. I don't believe that Justin is on the call tonight because his daughter, I believe, has some softball. And then obviously Harrison has taken some time away from us for a little bit. So, Scotty, please, by all means, take over and share your thoughts.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Kind of jumping on one of the things that we are seeing in NorCal, we are starting to see as well in SoCal is the last minute cancellations. I know Pete and Stu are kind of the two go-to guys that we have down here versus just Harrison up north, male Billy. So it's always fun. Yeah. So just keep your availability kind of up to date. If you know something's big, there's only so many uncles you can have that can die. So please just be aware of that. We do kind of keep track of habitual offenders. Um, Make sure you get in contact with your partners. I've been hearing a lot that guys aren't like, oh, who's my partner? I don't have his contact information. And I've seen emails go out from Pete. I've seen emails go out from Stu that has all that contact information on the bottom, or it's with somebody that you've worked with a lot, or you have other ways to get the contact information. Say you're in the same high school group, um, and log in there too. Work market. There's a few of you guys that have had issues that have not fully signed up and keep asking where your money's at. And I have told you the same thing every time. I have sent you the request. I can see that you started the process, but you haven't hooked up either your social security number, your bank account, or what have you. Get that filled out. We have the money sitting in the account. As soon as your account is verified, we will click accept or send payment. We cannot send payment until your account is verified. And if we switch over to this other program, it's going to be the exact same thing. It's something that we all had to set it up for college the same way. The only difference is you can hook up multiple bank accounts and then you can decide where the money goes. You just cannot leave it in that like an online bank. Like Arbor used to have like an online bank that you can just leave the money. This new one is a pass through, so you choose before and then it goes to wherever you set it to go to. There was a couple comments I saw about no raises and that kind of stuff. We are currently negotiating new fees for next year. I know in SoCal we're pushing hard to raise the fees because we've been at our fees for now 2 years. Gas prices and all the demonstrations going on, we're trying to raise it up to make life correct for everybody. This is not an easy job. Ask Harrison, ask Pete, ask Stu, ask the two guys down in San Diego that help us out too. The last minute changes. I know SoCal's last two tournaments last weekend were utilized by Umpire Focus in their 3-man camp. I was at my sister's wedding in South Carolina and texting Adam Dowdy every day because they were making changes. So it's not that we dislike you and we're like, oh, I'm going to mess with Billy Hayes today. I'm going to make him not have one of the 4 games I gave him 2 days ago. No, I'm telling you, hey, I just woke up to a text message that said, hey, this field doesn't have 4 games, now has 3. Hey, Billy, I just got this information. You only have 3 games today starting at whatever time. So it's not us a lot of the times. A lot of times these tournaments teams show up, they think they have enough pitching and they go through all their pitching and then now they can't pitch anybody and we're done. They walk away. So that's part of it. If it's day of, I know in SoCal, if they give us enough warning or if it's not the first game of the day, you guys get at least half a game fee. I don't know how Justin and Billy set it up when they have those last minute changes day of up in NorCal. So I apologize for the guys that are in NorCal. But rest assured, we are working on raises. That is something that we are 100% wanting to do for you guys because this is not an easy profession and we're losing officials left and right. So that is a huge part of it. Pete, if you can unmute, I think you said there was one other thing that was mentioned in the chats that Billy might have to answer to.
Yeah, there was a question on there that says, well, somebody stated, I think it's directed towards you, Billy. Maybe it's towards the staff as well. I'm willing to be a part of that also. But it says, honestly, I'd rather have you as my boss go out and watch me and give me tips and info after my game because most of us look up to you. Most but I'm saying this because but I'm saying this because it would mean much more because you've been there, done that. If we see you out more, we'd love it. So I think it goes into observations on site observation.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I don't know who iPhone is. iPhone is had some pretty good comments earlier. So about raises, I can touch on that if you guys want me to touch on that. But yeah, um, so I'll answer this question. The reason why you guys don't see me as much is because normally during the spring, I spend my weekends doing a lot of stuff for the NCAA, and it takes up a lot of time. Putting videos together is it's a time consuming thing. It's not easy. You gotta kind of search for the things that you're wanting to talk about and wanting to see. Sometimes they organically present themselves, which is super, super awesome. But the process in which putting a video together, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen some of the stuff that I've done in the last 4 years in my role, but they're usually 5 minutes in duration. A video that's 5 minutes in duration is probably a good 3 to 4 hours worth of work for me. Um, you probably go, why? How come that is? Well, when you really want to put something out that's meaningful, articulate, structured, has substance, has multiple camera angles, and can show the reasons why either the officials were incorrect in their mechanics or incorrect in the ruling. That takes a good bit of time. I do a lot of voiceover, and to script something to sound articulate and to sound credible is not an easy task. And when you think about the audience that I have, um, it's not just umpires that watch the videos that I put together. So we have at the collegiate level, NCAA baseball, we have over 4,000 umpires from the Division One all the way down to junior college that have signed up in our platform. That's awesome. And that number has increased since I started in 2021. We had uh, less than 200 viewers. Swear to God, in 2021, you'd be shocked. And now we're well over 4,000. And along with our umpiring community, you also have administrators. You have coordinators at the conferences, right, or the leagues. So you have all those people, and then you have all the people at all the schools throughout the entire country: Division One, Two, Three, NAIA, JUCO. So everybody gets access to it, all the coaches and all the players. So there's well over 20,000 some odd people that have access to our central hub. And you can't think about that when you're putting these videos together, because if you do, you may never put them out because you're too worried how, scrutinized that you're going to be. And I'm scrutinized. It happens all the time. And I get it. It's not everybody believes that in the message that I send, or the way in which I do it, or that the way that I interpret a play with a ruling is correct. And sometimes we're going to have that disagreement. So there's a lot that goes into it. And I've done that for the last 4 years. And I will tell you that it's been really rewarding and very joyful as a person that was on the field for 28 years and then had the ability to come to this side of it and do this as a kind of a platform for myself. But I will tell you that I'm having a lot of debate and a lot of discussion with myself right now whether or not I want to continue to do it and continue to be in that role, or do I want to put a lot more focus into this platform. Um, I tell you why I'm struggling with that decision. Uh, this platform, I think, has a lot more connectivity to it, and I think has a lot more ability to reach more people. and has the ability to be more impactful. A lot of the audience that I speak to at the NCAA level are very knowledgeable, very versed, very seasoned umpires at the collegiate level. Do they still appreciate my message? Sure. Some of them just tell me that because they like me, or some of them just tell me that because you know they just think that that's the right thing to do. But I got to be honest, I think putting more time and effort into educating you folks, and like this gentleman said in this message here, would be, honestly, I'd rather it come from the boss. Tells me a lot. It tells me that it's needed. And there's part of me that is wondering if whether or not I want to continue to do it in the new year. I'll be honest. So we'll see what happens. But regardless, you're going to see a lot more visibility from me. Whether or not I put somebody in charge of training or not, that's beside the point. I'm going to start making myself more visible in Northern California because that's kind of where I live. But I also am going to make myself present in Southern California as well. I have the ability to come down and make school visits for my collegiate stuff. And that translates into weekends in February, March, April, and May. And I can take in some comp baseball tournaments that we're expediting. So, but I appreciate that comment, and that's an honest comment, and that's an honest observation. And I think you're going to start to see a lot more of me at the comp baseball space and getting into a lot more tutoring, educating, mentoring, and advisement with you all moving forward. So I think that's appropriate. Pete, you got anything else that you want to talk about?
I got one more. A couple of guys mentioned about not having login and passwords for BVUA umpires.
Oh yeah.
That is because you're not NCTB Northern California guys. It's all the SoCal stuff is through the email and through. We still work ours through Google Sheets. Up there, they work through BVUA umpire right now.
Yeah, and that's something that if we decide to go and I've seen a lot of comments in. So the platform is called RefQuest. We abbreviate it as RefQuest Plus. It is a platform that was designed by a gentleman named Bo Borowski, who was a Division I college basketball umpire, national championship college basketball umpire, big time college basketball umpire. Did I say umpire? What the hell's wrong? I sound like my wife right now. What the hell's wrong with me? She calls officials baseball umpires. She calls them officials. Look at that baseball official. I'm like, oh God. No. My apologies. He was a big time college basketball official, right? And he designed RQ. I think he started designing it like 6 years ago and brought it to the NCAA 4 years ago and won the contract, which is a big contract. I'm talking big. And since teaming up with the NCAA, I've had the ability, Scotty's had the ability, because RQ was brought on in 2022 or 23, one of the two. Baseball was a heavy focus. And for whatever reason, me and Bo we kind of hit it off, and he really leaned on me and what we were doing with the conferences that I represent at the collegiate level, and we had a lot of collaboration and a lot of discussions about the platform and what could be better, and some of the hiccups that they were experiencing, some of the things that weren't really right that they could tweak and fix with coding and all that type of stuff. So Bo's a great dude, and I went to Bo 2 years ago and asked Bo if I could be a test pilot for comp baseball, travel baseball umpires to use the platform. And without even finishing my sentence, it was a hard no. It was like, no way, never going to happen. And I went, no problem. That's fine. We'll just keep doing it the way that we're doing it on spreadsheets. And as you guys know, we kicked the tires on a couple of things. We actually rolled out one, and it just didn't work. It was more clunky and cumbersome, and actually caused Harrison more headache than it was worth it. So we stopped it. I can tell you that if we decide to go with RQ, it's the technology is spot on. It is hands down. Ask anybody that umpires collegiate baseball for us. It's a great platform, and it's a one-stop shop. And I'm excited because I want to build it to the platform that equates or passes what the NCAA has. That's my goal. I want that to happen, and I'll make that happen. I can promise you that I'll make that happen. It won't happen right away, but I'll promise you that I'll make that happen over the course of the time that we're lucky to do all this. So, um, but that's the platform that we would use, and everybody would have access to it. Northern California, Southern California, everybody would go underneath it, and we would use it for our signing and training. Scotty, Pete, anything else before we open it up or try to answer more questions? Pete, anything?
I have a few bullet points. If we have a little time, it's not going to take much. I could just run through it kind of quick, or we could just
Go
table
for
it.
it.
Well, guys, thanks for giving me a little time. Just want to say, kind of with everything being said, overall, we get calls back, we get feedback, we get emails, text messages from tournament directors all the time. Obviously for the good stuff, but believe it or not, they also report back to us with excuse me, not just for the bad things that happen, occasionally. There's more good than bad, but along with those maybe negative calls or not so good calls, we get just as many, if not more, calls about good officials, guys people that get recommended, they get requested. Believe it or not, going into kind of touching on raises, all of those things go into it. When I get a call from a tournament director of somebody who's kind of maybe not done something favorable on the field or off the field, it's always, hey, we know you guys are spot on. We know you guys are professional. All you guys that you use are professional. They look at it as an isolated incident. And I think that helps us going forward with our bargaining power, because what I kind of started realizing, here over the last couple of years is that a lot of this is indicative of what the tournament puts on, what the officials put on. Parents get kind of finicky about the smallest things, and I get it because they're paying a lot of money. But with some other tournaments that I've done before BBUA a few years back, if there was tournaments that were losing teams because they weren't putting lines, foul lines. No foul lines, no teams. They were like, no, we don't like that. That's unprofessional. So all the little things go into it, and I think just us remaining professional, just as you guys are. I think overall, there's way more positive than any negative that comes out. So I applaud you guys. Thank you guys, and I appreciate that. And going into the iPhone comment about observations about being seen, Billy's probably one of the busiest persons out of anybody on these calls. I'm sure we're all busy in our own ways, but I think I appreciate that comment or that question, because I think it points out the need for us also as the staff to get out more. I try to make a more conscious effort this year, more than any other year, to get out during the summer, watch guys, be a presence, just kind of meet guys that I, haven't met or actually watched work. So I think it is something that that we as a staff would need to discuss going forward, and I'm confident that we will, on how we can make these things happen, how we can make time as a signers, to come out. Billy's talking about a potential, observer, and that's awesome. But us as a signers, I think we have to take some responsibility on that as well. So I appreciate you putting that in there, and also kind of going forward, also feedback maybe in an email, something that we can kind of chew on, and feedback that you guys might have. I think it will only make us better as an organization. You know, we want to build this. We want professionalism from all the umpires, and we want you to expect the same from us. And I know that we're all dedicated and committed to that. Y'all might not see what kind of goes on behind the scenes, but we are weekly talking about the staff, talking about how we can make it better, how we can improve it. And it's every Monday night, and it's sometimes till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So I want you to know that we are dedicated to you guys, even if you think that we're not. And we appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the comments. So keep coming so we can get stronger as a group. I just kind of wanted to go along with that as well, is that we, even if you don't have somebody coming out and watching you, from experience, it wasn't that long ago where I didn't even know it was a possibility for me to even become a college official. And I'm not saying that everyone on this call aspires to get to that level or wants to, whatever level that we're at. If it's comp baseball, if it's high school baseball, whatever we aspire to, right? We should take pride in whatever we do, wherever that comes from. So I think also along with that, at some point individually, we have to state our claim as well. If there's things that we want from umpiring, we have to let it be known. Billy may not know that you might want to work. Your goal is to work a high school final, so send it to us. Let us know. But we assign hundreds of guys throughout the state, so and gals. We may not know. So that's what I'm saying. Put it out there. Put it out there. Let people know. Let us as your assigners know what your goals are, what things where you aspire to get to. If you want to just increase your game counts at whatever level you're working at. One thing to keep in mind, I was a camper not that long ago, and it was not that long ago that Billy had just got done working the College World Series. A few months later, I'm at a camp that he's speaking at, and I remember him standing up in front of everybody and saying, "Hey, if you guys really want to do this, it's a year-round commitment." So we have lives. I get it. We have maybe other sports that we officiate. We got kids, all that stuff. But within this world, within our umpiring world, this is something unique. This is something that's kind of cool that we get to do, whether we do it as a full-time thing or whether we do it to supplement income, and have a good time. Whatever reasons we do it, that's let's try to be all we can be at whatever level we're at. So even in the off season, just if we aspire to move up, we aspire to increase our game counts. Let's take the spring to work on things, right? Let's take those time to watch games at whatever level, even if it's just we're working at a rec park and we sit in and kind of watch another game. You never know what crazy situations you're going to come across while you're sitting on the stands, and you can kind of Monday morning quarterback it. You know what I mean? Because you're not actually on the field, but there's all different types of ways to learn. Go out and watch games. Whatever level they're at. Get some mentors. Be a mentor. A big thing is, a lot of times in instructional courses, things like that, the teacher, the presenter, usually learns just as much as if not more as who they're trying to teach. So keep that in mind. Don't hoard information. Pass it along. We've all been fortunate enough to probably get some good information passed to us. So let's just keep it rolling. Let's keep paying it forward. The spring is coming up. Is right around the corner. Regular seasons, if for all of you that do high school or any other levels, spring's coming up. So write down some goals that you have of what you want to get accomplished, things you want to work on, things you want to get better at. For the spring, towards the end of the spring, write that down for summer. What do you want to work on in the summer? Write down questions, write down situations that may come up, because when we have these meetings, we would love. I know Harrison, Scott, Billy as well. We would love to hear some situations that come up. Now, it can't we have to do a little thinking for ourselves too. And we have to let it be an educated question, or a situation that you ran across some peers, bring those things up. Lastly, this is kind of an off the cuff thing, but this is camp season, umpire camps. If we're on social media, if we're online, talking to friends, buddies, whoever that may be, there's a lot of guys that we might know that are going to camps right now or that have gone to camps. If you aspire to go to a camp, do a little research, reach out to some guys, and just for the purposes of us being on this call, if you don't know who else to reach out to your assigner. That's going to be obviously Harrison, Scott, Stu, myself, Drake down in San Diego. Reach out to us. Let us kind of try to point you in the right direction. We've all gone to our fair share of camps, and there's don't just kind of blindly pick one. Know when and where to go, which ones to go to, and why you're going to it. You know, there's a lot of guys that want to go to, let's say, a 3-man camp, because frankly, this might not be kind of a popular opinion, but me being a camper not that long ago, if you're going to go to a 3-man camp, yes, you're going to get a couple nuggets dropped on you. You're going to learn some stuff, but in 3 days, you're not going to learn the 3-man system. Frankly put, you're going there to get a job. So I get a lot of guys that reach out to me and ask me, hey, should I go to this 3-man camp? And one of the first things I ask them, I say, well, have you been putting in your time, almost basically volunteering your time to work on your 3-man mechanics? And most of them say no. And I tell them, well, if you just got an extra $600 or $1,000 hotel and everything, you just got an extra grand to blow, then just go ahead and go, I guess. But if you haven't done your homework, then you should really think about what camp you're going to go to, And so consult with mentors, have your, a lot of it goes into what instructors are going to be there, get into the right camp that's fit for your experience level. So whatever those may be, but lean on mentors. If you don't have any other mentors, lean on the assigners that from this call, from the BBUA call. Again, not all of us may not aspire to go to a camp or nothing, but for those that do, reach out. No one's going to get mad because you're reaching out. Come with some educated questions, do a little research on your own, and we're here to help. Last thing I'll close this out on, we're coming out to the end of the year, for the spring, for the summer. Let's kind of upgrade our uniforms. There's always at the end of the year, we all know this probably, but just a reminder, all these different officiating outfitters, websites and stuff, they have a lot of closeout sales. Good time to re-up some of your uniforms, gear, things like that. So at a decent price. So ran through it kind of quick. Appreciate you guys hearing me out, and that's all I got.
Very good, Pete. Thank you. Stu, anything?
No, that was a lot. Just the camps are over, so if there's anybody that's looking, because I know you're looking to get evals on guys, I'm running all the Chapman clinics Tuesdays and Thursday nights for the next 4 weeks. So email me if you want to be part of the groups, and we can have eyes on you. And that's about all for what I got.
And Stu's referring to guys in Southern California. They got an event that they do down at Chapman that's in Orange County. So for some evaluation for those of you that live down there and want to access that, just reach out to us on our BBUA email and we'll get you all the information for that. So I appreciate that. I don't think Justin made the call, which is okay. Anybody that has anything payroll wise that is a challenge, that is a question or anything like that, just reach out to Justin specifically. Those of you that have challenges with Work Market, 9 times out of 10, it's a bank that's not connecting. Either the numbers aren't connecting or something's not connecting there. Sometimes it's not always necessarily that's on our end. Sometimes it's something that you got to handle with your bank because that connectivity is not happening. But by all means, keep the lines of communication open with all of those things because we want to get you guys paid. I mean, that's why you guys are doing this. So I think it's important. But if you've got any questions that has to do with anything that's related to payroll or finances, or a game was missed, or we might have missed, giving you a solo instead of working with the partner, or we missed on the difference between 12U and down and 13U and up, just reach out to us and give all the particulars on that, and we'll make sure and do good by it. So as we wrap up here and we close, there's any questions, are there any comments, there's any concerns, please, by all means. I do want to address a comment that I stopped on here from TJ, and that question to me, or comment to me, was also if it is somehow possible for a 140 time limit could really help a lot in certain situations, or a 205 drop dead revert maybe, question mark. Just a thought when the game schedule goes from 7:50 a.m. to 8:20. So TJ, Great comments. I love them. I think you're dead on, spot on. Those are all great. That doesn't come from us. That is not something that we solicit, and that is not something that we talk about. That all has to do with the tournament and how the tournament wants to run things, and we work around those. Yes. Do all those things make sense on a practical sense? Sure. Do those things aid in how the day goes officiating wise for us to kind of expedite and to stay away from early start times, late start times? Absolutely, they do. But again, we are there to play baseball, and they want to try to play baseball as long as they possibly can. So $1.40, sometimes that's a challenge. 10 more minutes makes a big deal. I don't disagree about the 205. The drop dead creates a bunch of challenges and possibilities on that as far as qualifying for Sunday's championship play or bracket play, and that becomes problematic. Starting at 7:50 a.m., not going to disagree with you. I think it sucks a big old bag of dog manure. If you can call it dog manure, I think there's another word for it, but I'll leave that out. And 8:20 start. Oh yeah, yeah, it stinks. It's late. I get it. Don't umpire college baseball. Don't go into professional baseball because you're going to probably start umpiring after 8:20. But I know comp baseball shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah, and that's fine too. And it's not so much really the 7:50 start and the 8:20 start per se that I was getting at, because that's fine. We get it. It's an all day affair. That's what we sign up for at the end of the day. But I mean, there's just been like a few other I wasn't sure if that was your guys' call or not. So now I know that was on me. I didn't I figured,
That's good. Yeah, no,
but
that's great.
just
Trust
like
me,
for example, there's often times that I'm in other tournaments that are an hour 40, and it's like it seems like it flows much better, even with that last 10 minutes, because I find myself having to start innings at like an hour 46, and then it turns into a 40-minute inning. But I mean, yeah, no, it was just a thought. I mean, it's all.
Yeah.
We do. We would love to be able to control the clock, but they won't let us because they're paying the money to come play. It's not us. We're a service industry. We're
Yeah,
just
no
doing the
doubt.
game. Yeah, trust me. Everything's $1.30 in my mind. Doug,
Well, what I will tell you, TJ, I will tell you, I am working on trying to get a clock present for between innings to speed things up because that drags really bad. I don't necessarily think that we necessarily need a pitch clock per se in comp baseball because I don't think that that's an issue. I think kids get in the box and they're ready to go and kids pitch. Nobody wants to delay them. They don't know how to do that. And I mean, if we gave them 20 seconds, they would probably balk trying to freeze a batter. So I don't think that that's necessary. But I do think the presence of visible clocks. So you've got the clock that's running for the total game time with the transparency. And then I think a between inning, I think would really add some good substance there. And I'm working on that. I got some power partners on that I'm working on getting that introduced to the comp baseball space. But great question. Now you know.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Anthony Ramitos, if you want to unmute and ask your question.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good.
Paul Remedios here.
Yeah.
Hi Billy. I just had a quick question that it didn't really come up in any of my games last week, but since USSSA uses OBR base, and I looked at their sheet, they didn't really have anything for this. Are we using the new pro rule as far as runners lane interference, where the runner is now allowed to go kind of in fair territory, or are we still kind of going with the old rule, which they're going to have in high school and college, of the 3-foot runner's lane in foul territory where they're supposed to be?
I truly believe in Scotty and Pete. You can help me if I'm incorrect here. I think we're going to be using the rule where the runner has to establish himself in the 3-foot running lane, the last half distance from that 45 or whatever it is, depending on the base path that you're working. They have to establish themselves in that 3-foot running lane. Am I incorrect in that, Scotty or Pete?
5-tool and Perfect Game have not given us any direction how they want us to run that yet.
Well, I will tell you.
Five
ahead.
Tool goes by high school, which I use, and Perfect Game aligned with kind of more of the high school rules. But NCTB went back to USSSA this last couple months.
Well, so Five Tool, you say up north with Sean
Correct.
Berry does that. Down here, it depends on which tournament they're running.
Okay.
They have an SS tournament where they run it on college rules, and then they have their normal tournaments that they run on modified high school rules. So it all
Okay.
depends on which tournament it is.
So why don't I do this? I'm going to reach out and get clarification so we're not shooting in the dark and we're getting it right. How about that?
Okay, sounds good. I'm just until further notice, I'm going with the 3-foot rule, which they're going
I
to move
like
in high
it.
school, and I'm just going to sell it on safety if they have a problem with it. But I was just kind of
Sounds like a
curious. One of
plan to
those
me.
things that
I
one
like
of
it.
those things that just kind of dawns on us at when we're doing 5 games a day there.
Hey, let me tell you something. A coach that's encouraging that or perpetuating that, it's just kind of slimy. That tells me everything I need to know about that individual.
Yeah, it's not even so much the coaches telling the kid that, just they run that way just because they're just not they're getting out of the box, or it's a Sully hit ball or coming from the right hand batter's box and whatever. So
Yeah.
and then same with kind of forced play slide rule. Again, back in Perfect Game and the high school rule, there's not, we used no pop-up slides similar to high school. I know the pro rule is a little bit different, a little bit more geared toward adult people who are more competitive. But again, I'm trying to sell stuff on safety for 13, 14-year-old kids.
Totally understand. I'll get some clarification and some direction.
Okay.
Hopefully I can have that by the time we put the ball in play on Saturday, which would be great.
Yep.
It'll probably get bounced around a little bit before I get a definitive answer, but I think those are really great questions, Paul. So thank you for bringing those to our attention.
No problem. Thanks, guys. Good talking to you.
Yes.
Okay to make a comment here, Billy?
Yes. Who's
Hey, it's
speaking?
Mike Hodge. How are you?
Hi, Mike.
Long time no see, man.
Yes, sir.
I've been helping you guys out for the last, like say, year and a half. Been doing a lot with Harrison and helping out there and filling in whenever he gets in a jam. He's texting me right away and I'm jumping in, and I've appreciated a lot of the stuff because I think, as you remember, I ran the San Jose Vipers and Billy Moore, remember, for 15 years, and no travel ball all too well. And been umpiring, and it's my 32nd year.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah, God has blessed me with 4 back surgeries, couple knee surgeries, still going, man, and keeping it positive. So one thing I have noticed out there is a little concerning to me. There are some guys that just are out there, in my opinion, for the wrong reasons. Not a lot, but there are some. And I think that might help. And like I think it was last weekend, we got in a real jam out at Creeks, and Harrison had to come out. And then I was already done. And he goes, Mike, do you mind staying and going and change it real quick and doing the bases with me for about 2 or 3 innings until the guy showed up? That's, of course, man. Let's go. Got to work with him and all that. Harrison's got a phenomenal attitude.
Yes.
Very professional. Some of the guys out there just
You didn't go down.
you don't think that they want to be there. That's and that if you're not having fun at this, you don't have to come out with a chip on your shoulder, man. These guys are paying to play. And I think you can also be professional and have a phenomenal attitude and make it a great experience for everybody, including those parents that are throwing that money down.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money because I ran a travel ball team.
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents, and I really have appreciated the organization.
Awesome.
It's congrats to all you guys, man. You're doing a hell of a job.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate
Copy
those
that.
statements.
Copy that.
And let me tell you something. If I had, you said how many back surgeries? 4?
I've had 4, bro.
I'm
Billy
shutting
Moore
down.
knows. No L5S1, no L4, no 3, 4 screws in the hip, 2 knee replacements on the same freaking knee, and I'm still out there.
You know what would be more fun for me?
Just to watch me fall?
Walking through a TSA check-in point with you. That would be
Yo,
good.
check this out. I'm going it's Wednesday morning to visit my son who's in the military for his 15th year.
God
Going on
bless.
16, going to visit him. And every time I go through the one where you have to put your hands up, I get a reaction from the TSA agents every time.
Because you're a goddamn robot, buddy.
Oh, dude, I told my son, if when I pass, tell my granddaughters to just cremate me, take all that titanium and go down to the recycle center, make yourself some money. It's all good. We're all good, man.
We appreciate your comments. Thank you for chiming in.
I hope you and the family are well.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you for asking.
Sure, copy that.
And he raises some great points. I mean, and don't get me wrong, fellas and ladies. It's hard sometimes, you've got, those challenging coaches that are habitual offenders. I could probably name one team right now and you guys would all go, "Oh, yeah, that's them." They're super, super hard. They are, and they'll challenge you in your best and worst of days. And I think that we got to continually understand that we're doing more good than we think, that we're ticking some guy off that, has this bad attitude and thinks that, winning a plastic trophy and raising a banner on a Sunday night is some kind of significance in his life, right? How I look at it is, I feel sorry for that person, and I feel sorry that that person is so petty that that's what fuels them. And I look and go, well, I'm super blessed because I never put that kind of emphasis on a win or a loss. And I never put the emphasis that I caused that team to lose the game. I just don't believe in that. I think that there's opportunities for teams to win and lose, regardless if the game is officiated poorly or not. And you're never going to make everybody happy, and you're never going to make anybody believe that we're not part of the problem. So don't take that home. As soon as you walk out of Creeks, as soon as you walk out of Great Park or any of these high schools that we work at, let it go. Let it go, and be blessed that you get to go home to family and friends and all those good things and do it again the next day, right? That's how you got to look at it, man. Life's too short and too precious. And I mean, good Lord. So great comments, Mike. Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Well, I got to tell you something. Last time I checked, 84 people on this call tonight. 84. That is super, super awesome and very appreciative. I want to say when we started these things, I think we got like 10. Oh, that's awesome. To get to 84, and I know it's going to continue to grow because we're going to make meaningful content out of this. This is going to be a fun thing. It's not going to be something that, oh, we got to get on that call with Hayes and those BBUA guys. God, I just did 7 games. I started at 7:50 and my last game was at 8:20. And this cat wants to get me on the phone for 2 hours on Monday night. What the hell is he thinking? I get it. But we're going to make them meaningful. We're going to have fun. We're going to collaborate. We're going to get nice comments like Mr. Mike had right there. And we're going to learn something. We're going to get better at our craft, and we're going to get better at things that we're doing, right? That's the goal here. So good things to come. We got to walk before we run, and we got to continue to be great ambassadors of this great game. And I appreciate everybody that's involved in this association, whether you worked a small amount of games or you worked a whole bunch of games, you worked this past weekend, or you're going to work this weekend with me assigning. It's going to be great. Appreciate you guys, all of you. So thank you so much. Appreciate the attention to detail and the professionalism that you extend us. And I hope that we extend that same professionalism back to you guys, and we appreciate you as much as you appreciate us. With that, I bid you adieu. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you guys next week or next month. Thank you.
Thanks, Billy.
You're welcome.